Your local forecast is every 10 minutes on the Thames. You can also visit our website at theweathernetwork.com.
1st of December. What a week in weather it has been. Talk about snow. We had all kinds of it, not only in the east, but in the west, too, caused havoc on the roads, and a devastating tornado in the southern United States. I'm glad you have a few minutes to spend with us this weekend. I'm Chris St. Clair at the Weather Network's National Weather Center. This is the weather we talked about over the course of this past week, and we'll start in the west, in Alberta, where it's really a gulf from Monday to today. This was what it was like in Calgary when we started the week Monday. Temperature was 9 degrees Celsius, which is about 12 degrees above the seasonal average. It was an absolutely beautiful day, and it really capped off about a month of really mild weather in southern Alberta. Well, now in Alberta, you're into much different weather. As a matter of fact, high temperature today likely only to be about -9 or -10 in the south, so it's certainly winter. Winter, by the way, returned to southwestern Ontario, just plunging temperatures Monday morning in southern Ontario. That iced up the road. There was black ice everywhere in southern Ontario, and there were all kinds of problems with traffic accidents. As a matter of fact, at one point, they just stopped counting traffic accidents in southern Ontario at the beginning of this week because of the real quick cold snap. I have to tell you the most amazing story about St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, there's an expression in Atlantic Canada, and in particular in Newfoundland, and that is, if you don't like the weather out the front door, look out the back door, and if you don't like that, go look out the side window or the other side of the house, because it's very changeable. It started snowing in St. John's on Tuesday, and it just kept snowing and snowing and snowing. And St. John's is just such a beautiful city. I know school was closed for at least 2 days. You had blizzard-like conditions Wednesday and Thursday with blowing snow. All week it snowed. You were just right on the storm track, and it was pretty persistent. So that was a mess in St. John's. But you know what? You're guaranteed now a white Christmas, because even the rain you get this weekend is not going to be enough to wash away the snow that you have in St. John's and along the Avalon. Okay, I have some friends in Western Canada who are sending me some emails saying, you know, I think we're going to have brown Christmas this year, and these were in Saskatchewan and parts of Manitoba. Now, you had all kinds of snow. Your snow began in the west. Oh, more from St. John's. Okay. Well, I believe this would have been on into Thursday, and perhaps even yesterday there was snow falling in St. John's. I'll get to the west in a second, but yeah, just St. John's, tons of snow. Now, I want to talk about the west because it snowed and over 30 centimeters of snow in parts of Western Canada on the prairies, in Manitoba and in the eastern Saskatchewan. I'll show you pictures from North Dakota, where they had all kinds of problems too, just to the south. This is what the roads were like, not only in the Dakotas, but across the Canadian prairies too. And it continues to be windy there, so you're going to have problems with whiteouts and reduced visibility on the southeastern prairies, really for the remainder of this weekend. Now, I want to talk about the freezing rain that came at the end of the week across northern Ontario and into northern Quebec. Really, an extended area was getting the freezing rain, and I'll show you pictures from North Bay because just a sheet of ice on everything. And of course, you know how busy it is on the roads this time of year, so that was not good up in northern Ontario and northern Quebec. There is some patchy freezing rain this weekend to talk about too in parts of the east. And our final weather story of the week takes us down to the southern United States. You know, the cold air that flooded into the Great Lakes, or is flooding in this weekend, the reason why it was so windy yesterday, is a sharp cold front. That sharp cold front went through the deep south. Just a devastating tornado in Newton, Mississippi on Thursday. This went right through a Walmart. And I was watching a lot of television this week, and a lot of reports from this particular tragedy in Newton, Mississippi. And it's lucky that it wasn't worse than it was. But this is powerful tornadoes in the deep south because of this very sharp cold front. Our weather watch continues. Your forecast information is coming up.
Night of my day when they say she got his eyes and.
Look here, JJ. We've had a pretty big week this week, you know, and you've been a good brother about this whole thing, so why don't you take this little bonus here and go on home? Well, it ain't wholly little.